happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out channel. It's another episode of Fight Talk with the BMAs, the basic MMA analysts. Two brothers across the world, just giving our thoughts on the fights, the UFC being more specifically. Guys, as usual, please check the description. If you don't want to hear about, if you want to get straight to the Fight Talk news, please check the description. It will be the first thing in the description, so you can click on that and go straight to the Fight Talk. If you don't want to hear about what me and K West have been up to and our thoughts on, stuff, as K West is showing you, he's got some work that he's doing. So if you don't want to hear none of this stuff, check the description, go straight to the Fight Talk. But on that note, K West, what's going on, man? Tell us what's going on.
Oh, yo. I'm good. I'm just acclimating to my new environment, and my guy A decided he wants to renovate, redecorate some things. So he's like, yeah, we can make this location over there and put it as our boxing area because he used to do Muay Thai and he has a bag, right? It's great how things when things just fall into place, just like miraculously. Like I was like, oh, I came here and I said, I need to get some gloves and whatnot. I might take some clients. Oh, I have that. Okay, cool. And I need to get a bag. Oh, I have that. Oh, cool. so it just and it's a good bag. So yeah, he was like, yeah, we can go and train there because we have the cover and everything. So we're just literally putting things together and getting dirty and down with it, man. I guess it's like spring cleaning, sort of thing as well. So yeah, that's what it's been. And then I need to go and sort out my room for my massage space, therapy space as well. So that's underway. My English teaching is happening and it's going smoothly. So everything is going according to plan. I'd say just another few more weeks, a month, and I'll start taking clients on. So yeah, man.
Wicked. I'm glad everything's moving forward, man. That's good to hear. It's great to hear every week we get an update on the progress, which is awesome. Ultimately, all leading up to the end product of
Yo,
everything that's supposed to happen. So that's great. It's good to hear, bro. Good news.
look at this guy. Yeah, I know. Thank you. Look at this dude with his rock. This is A. Yeah, this is my Muay Thai teacher eventually,
Nice.
my good philosophical brother, and my landlord.
That's awesome. That's
all,
awesome.
all in one. So yeah, no, I'm gonna start. He has a friend who lives out in the forest. He said, "Yeah, man, you should take your table and we do some treatment in the forest by the waterfall." I'm like, "Yo, I'm on it. I'm on it." Those kind of captivating places to show that I'm not just a therapist. I'm also a therapist who's in nature and can create art and ASMR and all these different elements that people like to listen to and click on to and So yeah, it's going to be revolutionary for everything.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it's such a great environment for all of that stuff as well. Some sort of spiritual journey as well, which is sick. Cool, man.
Untold, untold. I pass the mic to you, my brother. What's happening to you? You getting ready
Yes,
for your trip?
yeah,
Your
yes.
mind is blank, isn't it? You don't give a fuck about nothing until you get to,
You know what?
your autopilot.
I'm looking forward to it. So Friday, yeah, we head out to Uzbekistan for 10 days. I'm just looking forward to just shutting off from the
Yeah,
world, shutting off from
done.
work and process and routine and thinking about training and thinking about anything. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, that's the thing. I mean, the
yeah.
other thing that's bugging me that I need to get off my head is I'm gonna miss UFC 300 until I get back. Like I might
Come
try.
on, man. No,
I know. I'll try and find a way out there
no.
because I want to watch it. But end of the day, priority is to relax the mind and have enjoy the time with the missus, and then yeah, it's a big one, but it is what it is. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. Ramadan. It's the last
Yeah,
10
we'll
days of
just.
Ramadan. Yeah,
Oh shit!
the last 10
Wow,
is so
that's
quick,
so
I
fast.
know. So the last 10 days is always very important and a lot and very spiritual.
Why?
It's
Why?
believed that the last
Give me
10
some
days is
knowledge.
where the Quran was revealed and finished to the Prophet Muhammad, may he rest in peace. So these last 10 days is where we do a lot more prayers, especially in the evenings. Like night, ideally, what people do is like for 10 days they just stay in a mosque for 10 days and they pray all night, like literally all night, just pray, read the Quran, take breaks, pray all night. And I couldn't sleep
Mm.
yesterday, so I took that as a sign to like just wake up and pray. So I've done like 30 minutes myself, to be
Nothing
honest.
out of the ordinary, is
Yeah,
it?
no, and you know what? I'm trying to look at it as like,
Unfortunately.
yeah, no, of course. I mean, I've been struggling as usual with sleep, but I've been trying to look at it as like, you know what? God's just waking me up to say, hey, just come have a conversation with me. Come pray.
That's it.
And that's
That's it.
exactly, and that's it. So
Yeah.
I literally just got
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
bed,
yeah, yeah.
done, I washed up,
And
we
just
call it, do like what do and whatnot, washed up. And then I
mm,
just literally, I just had a 30-minute routine, and I done prayer, I read a bit of the Quran, I done prayer, I read a bit of the Quran, and then just kind of done like that. And then I had a bit of water and dates, and then that's it, I start fasting again. And then I done my morning prayer and just done some work and then tried to hit the bed, and I got a little bit of extra
mm,
sleep, but I'm trying to not let it bug me too much. I'm trying to take it as a message from God. Say, hey, wake up and have a conversation. Like I'm trying to like, all these times I don't sleep. The night before, I didn't sleep well at all. Like when I watch a UFC, we'll talk about it in a sec. But I didn't sleep at all that whole night. And instead of getting frustrated, I'm trying to turn it into like God's waking me up. Say, have a conversation with me. Come on, I want to talk. So I'm like, okay, let me
yeah,
pray. I'm
yeah,
really trying to take it so it doesn't affect
mm,
me mentally. So it doesn't affect, like, because this, I've expressed it before. When I don't sleep, I get very negative, and I get very negative on myself and everything, on my mind and
mm,
everything. But I'm like now taking it as like, no, 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 God woke me up to have a conversation. So I hope I can get into that routine and just pray.
mm. That's important that you flipped it on its head. And something struck in my mind as well when you said about God, inviting you for a conversation. Maybe you remember you spoke about maybe some other kind of business that you wanted to do. Like maybe you use that time to jot some notes down and I don't know, maybe I don't know, try it. Get your notepad out and you know, spider diagram or something and see what comes out. Maybe there is like a entrepreneurial kind of spirit in you that's like, yo, it's like we need to talk now. Like it's our time. Because I know before you said you don't really have that in your mind or whatever, but maybe that energy is there for that. And between you and God and that paper and that pen, try
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I mean, it's a good idea. I mean, I could start noting things down and just writing and whatnot.
Yeah,
There's an
try
interesting
something.
writer thing that people do, like writers do, that I've heard where they just write. They don't think about what they write. They just write words, and then after they read it and pull it into context, like they don't think about a premise or whatever word comes to mind, they just write it, write. And at the end, they read it and then see what comes out of it. Um, and you just can't stop typing. You just
Mm,
can't stop type. You can't stop typing or writing or what you just write.
yeah,
So I don't
yeah.
know. Maybe I
I
could mess around with
give it
that.
a shot. Give it a shot. I know what you mean about that. Like, I'm no professional writer by any means. Well, not yet, but I know what you mean. Where your pen just takes the wheel. Like sometimes I would just be talking what I'm thinking, and I'll just write it like that. Literally, it'll be a thought that comes and it just writes, and then I read it back, and it's perfect, lucid sense to me.
Yeah,
But no, and I'm like, damn, like this is dope, So you try that shit, man.
yeah.
Pardon me. You try that, and
I'm trying, yeah. I
yeah,
think a lot
try it.
of things, man, I'm working on, obviously because of the
Creative,
therapy, but also I shouldn't
yeah,
forget as well, my religion is there to help me with my mind frame as well. So loads of things, man. Even when I'm like some new thing I've
yeah,
been doing when
yeah.
I'm driving, because driving drives me nuts here, obviously. I'm so intolerant to people and their way and their mannerisms out here. Where I go crazy. I mean, I had a really bad incident a while back, just shouldn't be doing this really, but road rage and everything. So I was just like, you know what? I'm literally when I'm praying to God, I'm like also praying like help me be more tolerant, help me be more forgiving,
Yeah,
help me be more
patient.
patient. I'm
Yeah,
literally asking for these
yeah,
things. And then when I'm driving now, I'm not even joking, bro. I tell the missus, let's just put on tunes, let's just be quiet. I'll listen to
listen.
directions, and then I also recite like I also recite the Quran like little verses, like a verse on repeat in my head, which basically kind of calms me down. Or when something happens, or I can see someone's intolerance, and I'm trying to I feel the energy, and I'm like, I just recite it, and I'm like, so I'm trying that. I'm trying that. I'm just hoping I can keep maintaining it. If I feel anger, I recite that one
Yeah,
verse, um, and
What's the verse?
And I knew you were gonna
Teach me.
ask. I was
Go
just
on.
about to try and find it. You
Of
know what? Give
course.
me a sec. Let me get a
Yeah,
sec.
man.
Yeah. Give me a sec.
While you're doing
I'm
sure,
trying to
while you're
memorize
doing
the
that now,
meeting.
okay. Well, yeah, while you're doing that, it's funny that you mentioned about all of those distractions and annoyances of the outside world. Like right, he's into Buddhism and the Dharma, like the Buddhist teaching. And he explains he often talks about controlling your inner emotions and your intentions and not let the outside world bother you, which is I guess it's kind of like just a fully aligning your subconscious with your conscience so that you are in control of everything that you're in control of and nothing bothers you. Like he's really into that kind of essence. And I've already that's another reason why we catch up so well, because I'm already on that for my own means, and he's
Mm.
always about that, And I feel like a lot of people, they can benefit from such a thing of just controlling their self, because really and truly, we suffer much more in our mind most of the time, right, than outside, right? It's
Mm.
almost self kind of I don't know, like manifested. This things like can't let go of this, and I'm angry about that, but it's not giving you any harm right now. It happened 2 weeks ago, son. So, did you find that verse?
I did. No, I literally
I'm listening.
agreeing to
I'm listening.
what you're saying, bro, because it's a lot of things are in here. But yeah, we'll go
Yes,
find our
see,
ways. But yeah, this verse,
yeah,
the surah, like the verse is called Aklas,
Al
Ikhlas.
Akas.
Al
Okay.
yeah, Allah class. Yeah. Hopefully I'm saying that, but I'm probably destroyed it. I'm learning still how to pronounce things and whatnot. But anyway, the verses are short and it says, say he is Allah who is one, Allah the eternal refuge. He neither begets nor is born, nor is there to him any equivalent. That's it.
Mm.
That's it. As short as that. As short as that. And
That's what you go on.
yeah, and that surah, I've always used that since I was young. It's like the one that I always use. And before I go to bed, before I do something, but now something's different. Obviously, because I've been growing spiritually. I'm like I don't know what it is, man. I'm using that verse to kind of calm me down a little bit more. So I kind of just say it for everything. And there's so many verses in the Quran,
Mm,
obviously, so it's a big book full of wisdom and whatnot. But that verse
mm.
specifically has always been there for me.
On the cusp, yeah.
Always, always.
Mm,
I don't know, like I said, there's something special about that verse that kind of calms me. That's just a reminder that God today is watching me. The one and
mm,
only is just watching me, and take all
mm,
of this as a lesson, a sign, or a conversation with God, whatever it is. So, as
mm,
well as the therapy, I'm still, my
mm.
religion is there as well to help me as well. So, yeah, man, yeah,
Yeah, the
everything's
faith.
cool, man. And then last week was my
Mm.
birthday, so I just going off topic. I bought myself my final. Look at this guy, man. Look at this guy.
Did you did you did you
Yeah,
did you,
I ate. What do you mean? Ate?
yeah, but what were you gonna eat? You planned to eat something specific,
Yeah. I
something
mean,
you
that
grabbed with
was
two hands and you.
yeah. No. I got. We went Chinese food instead. The missus recommended Chinese food instead.
Ah,
Yeah.
dead.
I mean, it's just to be honest with you, bro. Birthday food is except if it was at home and mum cooking. Like, restaurant food is all the
Game.
same. I can get a burger any
Yeah,
second in
yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
nothing
yeah,
really. But
yeah.
the real present was this. I've had this Punisher on my list for about for a long time. For the longest time, it's been on my list.
Yeah,
This was the
you
last
told me.
one.
Yeah,
And last November
yeah. The
when I
last
decided when I
one.
wanted to buy it. So I got it for my birthday. So it's a beautiful piece. I've been
Beautiful.
geeking out, the
It
reviews
is.
out, and yeah. So that's been my treat. And then obviously we're going to
Yeah,
Uzbekistan
I saw that.
on Friday. So that
That
should
is
be fun as well.
that is a great. Hey, just shift the camera a little bit so we can get to see him, man.
Yeah, guys,
There you go. You
check
can see
out
the
the
caliber.
review on YouTube on the YouTube channel. It's there. I go through the whole thing. I love it.
There you
I love
go.
it. But
Plug
now
it in.
I'm no more
Yeah.
space. I've got one more figure coming in, which is pre-ordered, which is like a Spider-Man one, but that will come hopefully within the next year or something. And that's it. That's me done for now
Nice.
until I can figure out.
For now,
You know,
until you get more space in your room, or you, yeah.
well, yeah, we'll see. The new
Uh,
place that we're gonna move
mm.
to or that we purchase, it's got less space, so I need to figure to figure that one out. Anyway, that's
You just right. Okay. Okay. But
yeah,
on on the note of religion, isn't it funny like how so many of them have similar kind of concepts about controlling your inner self and like approaching the world as almost as a god would, like that nothing on the outside is bothering you, you're protected, move on, get on with your day, inner peace. So many
yeah,
of them talk about this, and that's why I'm like, yo, man, we're all the same in a sense. Like the teaching is the same. Like above all the divisions and the segregations and whatnot. Like above all of that, like I feel like when you watch Marvels or anything, you see all these like celestial gods and whatnot, like that created the laws of the universe and the world and whatnot. It's all pretty much in sync to a degree.
this is the problem with religion and not problem, so I shouldn't say that, but this is the thing. People try to look for the differences, and if they looked at all the similarities, you'll see there are. At the end of the day, it's about being a good human being, loving each other as human beings and being better, right? Now, of course, the Abrahamic faiths have a lineage or whatnot, but really, like if you just look at the and obviously in
Oh,
Islam, there's some different
hey.
things, like yes, and I believe in
Yeah,
those and whatnot. I don't believe in so. But our religion, all religion teaches you, right? Apart from what I said, everyone loving each other, but also respecting each other's beliefs. You don't have to believe in their religion
yeah,
or their beliefs, but you can respect
yeah.
them as a human being as long as they're good people and they're following their religion to a T.
Mm,
Which basically ultimately means they will respect you back. They will love you back as a brother or a sister and
yeah,
whatnot. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
people don't
yeah,
focus
yeah,
on
yeah.
that and they just want to focus on the differences, man. But when you focus on the similarities, I mean, look at us two,
Hey,
bro. I could talk to you about my religion. You could talk to me about your spiritual perspectives. And there's never a like, oh, bro, no, you shouldn't. Oh, no, no, you should. No, it's like, it's just communication. Now, I know we're connected through MMA, I would say, but or UFC. But the point is, we can literally feel comfortable talking to each other about our spiritual mentalities, even though we don't follow or believe in each other's like direct spiritual like beliefs or whatnot, right?
the
But
dogma, right?
we can have that conversation and just have that
Mm,
what you call it, understand the comparisons of what making us better or trying to make us better. You know what I mean? The worst thing would be
yeah,
if I was to be like, nah, bro, you shouldn't think like that because in Islam, blah, blah, blah. No, that's where I would start conflict if I was to do that. But I could just tell you now,
mm,
this is the perspective that I'm learning or I'm going through. So that's the important thing, man.
mm.
People try to deviate away
Love
from
that.
that. And, media
Yeah.
has a lot to do with it, unfortunately.
Ah.
That's the worst part. I think media is the worst thing to do with it because of conflicts and whatnot, they just, make everything, they segregate everything. This world and that corporate media and just certain movements is down to their goal is to separate people. And the best way when you can separate people and put people against each other, that's the best way you can rule people.
Weaken.
You know what I
You
mean? You
can weaken
weaken
them as
society.
well,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Weaken that
Exactly.
unity
The
of the
only thing that can
brotherhood.
overthrow, I mean, I'm not saying that this should happen, but revolution, the only reason why is when people unite, right? But if you already split people, oh no, you're black, you're white, you're Asian, you're brown, you're this, you're Muslim, you're Christian, that it's like
Mm,
you're all okay. The first strategy, segregate, split them up. So you break the groups
yep,
down into, then you try and turn the groups against each other. You try and make one the
yep,
bad ones. The Muslims, they're they do
right,
this, they're the T word. I'm not going to say the
yeah,
word, but they did
right, 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 right.
so
You
anyway,
remember that
anyway,
movie with
is it
Mahershala Ali and Ethan Hawke? You know the one? It's called oh man, it came out on Netflix,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah. End of the
you
world
know
or
the
end of
one,
something. Yeah, it was really good actually. I
right?
like that. Yeah.
How right? How did they control the people? What was the first step? You remember that?
I remember the leaflets that came out. You talking about that?
So the first step was they cut out the communication, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
They cut out the communication, and I don't know if you saw there was an article saying that when the eclipse happens, whenever it's happening, the communication will drop in the U.S. or something, and then you saw these two ships. You remember they like landed on shore,
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that?
yeah,
His
yeah,
big
yeah.
oil rigs. Apparently, that's happened. That's happened a couple of days ago.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
And then obviously we already have the what you mentioned before about just xenophobia of whatever's different, you know. But yeah, that movie was a really good display of how to take how to cripple a country from within, basically.
Yeah. And I remember,
Mm.
yeah, no, that was a good movie. Yeah, no, definitely a great movie.
Mm.
Charlie's also, but yeah, no, listen, man,
Oh,
that's
Blade.
the way, yeah, that's the way things are. But anyway, yeah, man, look, well,
Mm.
let's get into some fights. We've got some
If
fights to talk about. We got some fight news and whatnot. Let's talk about UFC this fight night. So just a heads up, guys. I'm gonna be out next week and I am gonna miss 300. So maybe K West you could do a solo one or whatnot. After well
Hood,
maybe I'm definitely gonna watch UFC 400 300 maybe when I get back. So maybe we could do a late one and whatnot. So we'll see how it goes. But just a heads up,
I
I'm gonna miss
expect
those. Yeah.
I expect there'll be a lot to talk about. So I'm happy to wait if everybody else is, because we should.
Yeah, so what I'll do is when I get back on the Monday, right? So I got to sign up to a new thing, Star Plus or whatnot. So it's annoying, right? That's happening. So I can watch it during the week and then maybe midweek or during the end of that week, we could do an end of week fight talk and talk it through if that works.
Yeah, I mean, that works for me. I mean, yeah, that works. We can do that.
All right, let's do that. All right, cool. Well, let's talk
I'm
about this week's
flexible.
fight night. We had Erin Blanchfield
Flexible.
versus Manon Fiorot. Did you see that
I
fight?
didn't see much of the fights. I didn't see much of the fights, to be honest. I saw what I needed to see. We'll get to
Okay.
that. But yes, go on.
All
Tell me.
right. Well, this fight, number two and number three, and I'm assuming this is for a title shot or whatnot. I feel like, look,
Eliminator.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie and say like I know the full background of these fighters and I know their fighting styles and all that sort of stuff. But from what I understand, Erin was more of a wrestler, Manon was more of a striker. And what I saw in this
Sure.
fight, everyone was trying to move forward always, and then Manon just
Mm.
kept her at range and was able to just kind of counter, be it with jabs, be it with different.
Mm.
And everyone, I didn't see her shoot much. She tried to go for a couple body locks. I believe she got a tight guillotine in
Stable?
the first round, but
Almost stable.
or I think she
Kind
shot
of.
and
Mm.
then Manon got a guillotine. I can't remember who it was, but anyway, that was the kind of story of the fight, really.
Okay.
Just
Grappler versus striker. Contest.
Manon just controlled the range and just as Erin will come forward, and that was her only strategy. She didn't change it up. It was just coming
Mm.
forward, and then she'll just get countered, basically. Sometimes she'll connect or
Mm.
whatnot, but that was the story of the fight. So that's that. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I have nothing much more to say about that. We'll see what happens. I know Rose wanted to fight the winner, but I'm assuming the winner here would get the title
Erin.
shot.
Right, which is Erin, right? Erin won.
No, Manon won.
Oh,
So she's
okay. Then
still
I
on
must have seen
a,
that wrong
I
then.
think she's still
Okay.
on a undefeated streak.
Undefeated.
But maybe Erin and Rose could fight,
Mm.
and then the winner of that could get a title fight against whoever
That
wins.
makes
Yeah.
that's a likely story. Yeah, I would tune in for that. I mean, like we geeked out last week. So happy to see Rose back. So anything with Rose in it, I'm down.
Yeah,
Basically,
exactly.
I'm a
Um,
fanboy.
all right, let's move on to the next fight. I'm more familiar with these guys, as bad as it sounds, compared to the main event. So Vicente Luque versus Joaquin Buckley, and Joaquin Buckley, man, he's on the rise,
Mm.
man. I mean, look, I feel like Vicente Luque, he was up
Oh
there, man, fighting the
yeah,
top. Like he's fought the who's who, right? But I don't know what's happened, but Joaquin Buckley, obviously, this young guy coming in, and man.
explosive, dynamic, athletic.
Yeah, I mean, the way I didn't expect him, the way he finished it, I didn't think he would finish it. Then he got on top, he ground and pounded, and
Yeah, it just kind of
yeah, and I thought
mm.
Vicente would, scramble because
Yeah.
Vicente is great on the
Mm.
ground, hold on, whatnot,
Mm.
ride
Right,
the round through. But
right.
then,
The wave, yeah. Mm.
yeah, but that was it. That was the beginning of the end, and I
Pounded him
believe
out.
I don't know I can't remember if it was if he connected to take Vicente down, or it was like a short connection. But that was I just didn't expect it to be that
I
way.
remember.
I thought
Same.
Vicente will
Yeah.
just like hold on and whatnot. But But Joaquin Buckley, I mean, if you look at his movement, he looks explosive. Obviously, I think he's younger, looks explosive. Obviously, he went viral for that ninja kick that he did, which was awesome. But that shows the athleticism. They only say the word right. But anyway, that shows how athletic he is doing that move, right? But
Athleticism.
there
Get
you
it.
go, there you go. But when you see him move in this fight, just he was getting comfortable. He was cutting angles. Like you could see that he was very comfortable, and he was just cutting angles and whatnot. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, he's
Yeah, yeah,
definitely
yeah.
fun to watch. So I said that was an
He
exciting.
is, and he's got one hell of a mouth on him as well, isn't he? He's quite a talker on the mic.
He is, he is,
Like
he
in
is.
promos.
So
Yeah, he's
yeah,
quite a talker on the mic. I think he just needs a little bit of consistency from here, and maybe like people might start like kind of buying into him a bit more. What do you think?
well, I think after that kick that he did, I think a lot of people bought in, and then there was this expectation he's going to do the same thing, which kind of messed things up. That's why I think
Yeah,
there was a little bit
right.
because I think
Dip,
I
yeah.
believe Kevin Holland beat him. Can't remember who
Yes.
else. I feel like there was someone else, but
Somebody,
yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah, there was.
that kick obviously, turned him into I don't want to say a superstar, but got him popular. And then,
It's a highlight reel knockout, man.
oh yeah, it's one of the best. It's like when you first saw the Showtime kick, you're like, oh my God, what is this? Like it was amazing. So anyway,
Yeah.
he's up there. You just got to keep building. Got to keep building. All
Mm.
right,
All
let's move
right,
on
all
to the
right,
next
all
one.
right.
Another legend, Chris Weidman, back versus
No,
Bruno
what
Silva. This
the
was a bit of a
hell?
controversy one, but we'll talk about that in a second. His performance in
Mm,
general, like he looked good. Don't get me wrong. I could see that he's a little bit getting old and whatnot, but he looked good. I do think, in my opinion, like against higher competition in that division, I just don't think it will go Weidman's way. Just because Weidman came from that horrific leg break and so much. He's 39,
mm,
but the fact that he's still doing it at that age and did go up against someone young was amazing. He was able to control on the cage, hold him there.
mm.
But I mean, it wasn't. I wouldn't say that was the funnest strategy, but it worked for him. I mean, he was able to still implement that. And he's a wrestler.
Yeah,
But that finish there was two like that on the card. We'll talk about the next one, but that was a double eye poke.
yeah.
That was a double eye poke. So the fight
What?
he won by TKO, and then it was changed to a unanimous decision while he was getting announced and whatnot. But it was a double eye poke, and yeah, I think I poked him. That was the third time. Yeah, I poked him. Well, yeah, I think that was the third time.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
double
yeah.
eye poke. That was tough. That's a
I've never heard of that before, man. That's WWE, man. Ric Flair, man.
And the way Bruno did fall down, initially it looked like he got hit by the strike and fell down. But that's why Weidman said, look, the advice that I'll give you is you shouldn't react that way because that's what it
You
looked like.
shouldn't react
Yeah,
that
it looked
way.
like
Yeah,
you went down
yeah.
by a punch, not eye poke. But so that I mean, look, I don't
Mm,
know. I remember once I've been eye poked during MMA spot, but this was years ago, and I just remember that. Oh my God,
yeah.
that's horrible. So I don't know, but he got double eye poked, and the way he went down, it just looked like he got hit by a strike and got knocked
It did.
out.
Yeah.
But
Yes, it
I don't know
did.
if I don't know. I don't know. Again, I'm not the guy getting eye pokes. I don't know, but if he was to kind of cover up
Mm.
but he was in the midst of a strike, so it would have been hard for him to back out like that. But
Yeah, it was.
they went
Yeah.
on points anyway. Weidman, end of the day, they went on points. That's why Weidman won by unanimous decision. So that wasn't too bad.
Mm. The ref needs to do his job. That's his job, right? To make sure that those things don't happen. Was this wasn't the okay? Was it this fight or the previous or the other one where the referee actually watched the tape and didn't do anything about it? Didn't take a point. Was it this one?
I don't. Which
Maybe
was
it's the
it?
other one.
Maybe it was the one
Maybe it's the
before.
other one because he actually viewed everything on the tape and he didn't deduct a point, didn't give a warning, like nothing.
But all right, we'll talk about that one in a second. Maybe it was another one because that
Sure,
one he won
sure.
as well by he ended up winning by TKO. So there wasn't any there wasn't. Well, let's talk about that anyway. So Weidman, it's good to have Weidman back, but
It is, but
little bit, And I
yeah,
hope, and it's great that he won. I'm happy for him. I hope he, decides to like soon retire, like take another, not a top 10 fight or none of that sort of stuff. Not try to be like, I want to be champion again. In my opinion, I just feel like get another fight, win, leave on top. You know, you
Mm,
came back a horrific leg break, you won a couple fights,
yeah.
finish. That's what I want for Weidman because, you know, end of the day, I hated him in the beginning because he beat Silva. And he done that to, no, he didn't do that to Silva, but that was his job. And I obviously had a hate for him because Silva's my guy. But
Yeah.
you gotta respect where he came from, man. Because when you listen to him talk, he's a nice guy, and you know what he's come
Mm,
from, and to come back, you cannot not respect. So I got mad respect for
mm,
Weidman for coming back. So I hope he just takes a couple
yeah.
more fights that he can win and leaves, man. Don't risk it no more. He did throw a couple of those leg
Mm,
kicks. You know, he threw a lot of kicks, so he's confident. I think
yeah.
in the first fight when he came back, he was a bit hesitant. Don't blame him, like
Yeah.
PTSD and whatnot.
Sure.
But he was throwing a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
kicks on this one, so overcoming that, which is great.
Yeah. Have you noticed that every fighter that has had that issue or something to that effect, there's that moment where they throw the leg kick and you're like, you wait to see what happened. Like
I mean,
Tony did it, Chris did it, Anderson did it, and you're like, okay, hold up, okay, good.
yeah, Tony didn't break his leg like that. Do you think
He
about did?
didn't, but he had an injury, didn't he? On his leg. He
Oh, okay, but like,
do
he
you
had like
remember?
I know he had like a he tore his ACL and all that sort of stuff. I don't know if you're talking about that.
Right, yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
talking about the
Yeah,
shin
yeah.
snap.
That's
The
right.
shin snap is the horrendous one, and that's only happened to
Right, but
like
I'm just saying anybody to that effect that's had a leg injury and they come back and they kick and we all kind of wait to see like, oh, okay, held up. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. But good for him, man. Good for Weidman. Let's move on to the next one. So this
Mm,
one was another controversial one, and it was
Chris
Uzbekistan fighter.
Weidman.
So interesting. I'm going to
Mm,
Uzbekistan, but Nasrullah
yeah, yeah.
Baburov versus Cedricus Damas. Anyway,
Ooh,
finish the
getting
same
better.
way. Yeah, I don't know about that. Finish the same way, bro. Finish the same way. I mean, when I say same way, it wasn't a double eye poke, but it was an eye poke. And then Cedric, he turned completely away. So Nasrullah took advantage of that. So I
Uppercut,
think
no?
again, it was a
Yeah.
reaction. It's like instead of reacting like just looking at the ref or looking completely away from your opponent,
Be like,
the reaction should have
yeah,
been like you know what I mean? Like so I don't again I
yeah,
say
yeah,
this, but I'm not the one getting eye poked and
yeah.
whatnot. But
Sure,
Wabilov
sure.
took
Yeah.
advantage of it. He won by TKO, and I
Hey,
think the ref. I think this might be the
yeah.
one you're talking about. The ref, he
This
still
might,
won. They didn't turn this decision around. He still won because
right,
I think what it is I don't know. The ref looked at it and he was like, "Look, the ref didn't stop it. The ref didn't see it until
right,
after the tape. But
right.
your
Yeah.
reaction was more like you stopped rather than the ref saying stop." And you shouldn't, no,
Yeah.
you shouldn't really stop the fight until the ref says, right? And if there's an injury or something, you need to protect yourself, I guess, at all
Check
times.
yourself at all
And
times.
but
Right.
again, I
Yeah.
don't know. Getting like poked in the eye, I
Mm,
can't speak on what that is, but that was another one.
mm,
But
yeah.
Nasrullah looked good though. I mean, he's another I guess another prospect coming up. I think he was undefeated. I don't know if he's undefeated. Let me check his record. I think the UFC's undefeated. No, he's not undefeated, but he's got. Oh no,
Not
that's what it is. He's got tons of experience. My guy's 34 wins, 8 losses, 2 no contests. I mean, that's
the
nearly what
monster.
40, like 45, nearly 45 fights or something, man. Just a beast.
Monster.
Yeah.
And only 8 losses, yeah?
And he's only like 30 years old or something. How crazy is that?
The monster. So that means he is a real monster or his record is slightly padded due to lower competition. That's the fact of it, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't know. I mean, anyone can have had a thing before they get into the UFC, right? We just don't know. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to
So
say
let's see.
padded. It's just not UFC caliber fights, right? So
Yeah.
so it's hard to say it's padded, I guess. We'll see how it goes on in the UFC.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. To be honest, I watched. Oh, okay, so I watched the next fight. Bill Algeo versus Carl Nelson. Carl Nelson won by TKO. Was it a short left hook? I
Mm-hmm.
believe it was. Oh no, it was. He hurt him, and I think Carl Nelson hurt him, and he was just kind of what do you call it? Just striking him
Round
on the
just finish him.
yeah, and then the
Mm.
ref kind of stopped it. It was on his feet. He stopped him on his feet. I think the ref just saw that was enough. They put it, Bill wasn't fighting back really smartly, so he just stopped the fight. It was on the feet.
I
Um, then you
never
got
saw that one.
then you got another Chidi. Oh, I can't pronounce his name, bro. Najo. Yeah, I can't pronounce the names, bro.
Wait,
This is gonna be bad.
where you,
The last fight
where
in the
you
main
talking
card, when you take a look and try and pronounce the name. Wait, why do we talk about that? My
about?
bad. My bad. I can't read, and that's just the fact. The one other guy who was talking about last week, who came through was Nate Laundrer. Did you see that versus
Yes,
Jamal Ahmed? That guy, I was talking about
I
it last
didn't.
week, and like he brought back the
Right.
memories of why I was talking about because he's loud and he's a beast, bro. Like he got flipped, he got bloody immediately, and then
Uh,
Jamal looked good. He was keeping a good range. He was popping him or whatnot. And then if you like, Nate's just got this I think quote that's amazing. It's like if you don't beat me, I most probably will win or something like that. It's quite a funny quote, but a true quote. Because if I don't lose, I most
uh.
probably will win. Which is interesting. But anyway, he's just fun and he's fun on the mic. He's got hype. He could be a fun
Mm,
prospect. Let's see how far he goes. But he's definitely building up his character, especially with that mic and just his fighting style, man. Because he took the cuts, he took the shots, and went out there and ended up getting the win by knockout. And Mike got performance of the night as well. So
yeah,
definitely
he
a fun
should.
prospect, man.
I need to check him out. But yeah, it's funny we were talking about him last week, right? And he performed, so he's doing. Ooh, he's doing his job, right? He's
That's
doing his
it.
job. I think like he's in which weight class is he in again?
Featherweight.
Okay, never mind. But yeah, I'll
Cool.
check that fight out.
All right, all right. Did you find the names? I don't want to butcher the names here, man.
No, because it's gonna cut me out the thing and the
All
camera and
right.
whatnot. So
Let me give
I didn't
it.
do it.
I mean, the fight wasn't. It was okay. It was okay. We don't need to go into it. All right, but look, that was that fight card. I mean, we can move on to MMA news that we got.
Strickland,
Um,
you about Strickland?
what happened to
Sean
Strickland?
Strickland? He might catch a case for pistol whipping some dude that was trespassing on his property. I think
Did he pistol whip
so.
him? I think I know the footage you're talking
That's
about,
what
right? The one
I
that went
heard.
viral and whatnot.
Yeah, I didn't see the footage. I just heard what Colby said, and yeah, that's all I know about it. But uh, and then to add to that, Strickland was like he called Dana's bluff about did you hear about that? They called his bluff and said, "Oh, let me fight Dricus because even you thought that I had won that fight. You know it was a close fight. I know I won that fight. Give it to me. I deserve it, or I'm gonna leave." And I think Dana was like, "Go on then." So that's where it's at.
Oh, okay, okay, interesting. I mean, I don't think you'd want to lose Strickland. I think he's a fun guy to be in the UFC. He's very controversial, obviously, but he's a fun fighter. Um, but
That's the problem, isn't it? Though that's the problem with him. Or that's the duality of him. He's fun, but you can't really market him because he might say some shit that we can't control, and
yeah,
like
but I
yeah,
think Dana's made it clear that he doesn't control what anyone says. I mean, that's what I love about the UFC. Anyone
he
can say
has.
that, and you might not like it. I mean, there's a lot of people that might say stuff that you don't like or you don't agree with, but he's left the UFC to be like that, you know? Um, You know what I mean? So,
Well then,
that's like censoring him in a sense. Like Dana's not on that. You know what I mean? If you're like, nah, we don't want you here because you're too wild. Like, nah, I mean, if he done something wild, because Dana's got rid of people who's done something wild in the cage, like cheap shot, like Paul Daly, for example, or biting,
uh,
whatever. Yeah,
yeah,
that. But and I think they held that guy's pay. But I heard they held his pay because of that bite.
yeah,
So that guy's good
good,
anyway. But in regards to
yeah.
talking, I don't think Dana will censor anyone.
He'll put a muzzle in it. Well, yeah, maybe not, but inadvertently, if you take away someone's platform, a aka don't give them that fight, right? Because okay, he didn't get knocked out, he didn't get outclassed by Dricus. Did he have enough fights to get to Warner an immediate rematch? No, but those two things I said prior matter, right? And so why is he not giving him the fight? Why is okay? You can look at obviously Israel Adesanya and Dricus is a bigger fight because it's more interesting. Yeah, of all that shit that happened before, there's a storyline. We all want to know. you want to know, yeah, what happened with that one. But if you're not going to give Strickland the platform to do his thing, you're muzzling him in a sense. Why?
Yeah, I mean, in regards to the rematch, though, I'm not surprised. I mean, look at what Aldo, look at the bigger fights.
Yeah,
Look about the Aldo. Look at so many people
sure,
who've had the
sure,
belts for
sure.
way longer and they don't get a rematch. I mean, with
Absolutely.
Strickland, sorry, it was okay. A lot of people thought Strickland won. I think I was there
Yeah,
too, but it was a
yeah.
close fight. It wasn't like
It
he
was
got
a
robbed
close
and
fight.
whatnot.
Yeah.
So, and then if they're gonna move on with a bigger superstar fight, they're gonna do it, which is Izzy,
Which is
versus
Izzy.
DDP. Which makes sense. And when
Yeah.
Izzy fought Strickland, I can't remember how Strickland got that fight. I believe I swear it was a last minute thing. I swear DDP was supposed to fight him. He fell out.
Ex-
Strickland came in. So,
yeah.
maybe Strickland's got
Yeah.
to go back
Yeah.
up there and whatnot. But he's fun to watch. I
Mm,
mean, hopefully they work things
yeah.
out. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
The
It
other
should.
thing I
Mm.
saw, we'll talk about the Saudi card in a second, but real quick, Brandon Moreno announced his break from
Oh.
MMA. He
Oh
reached
yeah.
the limits in his mind. So Brandon Moreno just obviously he's been in some epic fights. He's been in like 4 title fights in a row with the same guy. He's been up in high level fights, 5 round fights for the longest time or whatnot. So taking
Mm,
a break sometimes might make sense, man, especially someone who's been in just constant 5 round battles or whatnot. So
yeah.
good for him for acknowledging that and taking
Hats
that
off.
time out. Um,
Yeah. Hats off to him. Hats off to him for sure.
yeah, they also
What
announced
else you
just
got?
quickly in that division, they also announced the champion, what's his name? Hold on, I got it here. Give me a second.
Pantoja.
Yeah, versus
Um.
the guy from Australia.
Right. Oh yes.
Steve Urquhart, yeah,
Yes.
who's the number 10.
Yes.
And
But he
Muhammad
knocked out that
Makayev,
dude.
yeah, he did knock out that team.
Yeah.
But even a lot of people, even like Muhammad Makayev, because he was like, obviously, I'm
Lakayev.
coming. And he's like, how? Like,
Yeah.
why? That don't
Like,
make no
yo,
sense.
what?
And he's a
You don't
number
see
10
me?
guy. He's a number 10 guy. That's a big
Yeah.
jump. So I don't get that. But anyway, just based on that division, that's what's happening there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
But
that was a strange one.
yeah, let's talk about something exciting though, really exciting. The Saudi card was announced, which is in June, I believe, June 22nd, and it's a return of Hamzat Chimaev
Yo.
fight with Robert Whittaker. That's a big fight. That's a big fight.
Yo.
That's a great fight. Um,
Whitaker is he's obviously planning his assertion back for the belt, right? Because he knows if he takes out Hamza, he's right there again.
this is a title eliminator. I
Right
heard that
there.
it's a title
Right. It's
eliminator.
right. There you go. There you go. I think he even said that in a podcast, I'm going to beat Hamza and then go right back for the title. So his mindset is there to get the belt around his waist again. So he should. Um, yeah, I mean, why not? We both love the guy. He's a great fighter, and he just had a little bit of a stutter step here and there. But we know that in the cage, there's nobody quite like him. In that division, he's one of the best.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And he's such a nice guy as well. How could you not like Robert Whittaker is such a great champion. He's got great mentality. He's a good family man. He speaks respectfully.
Mm,
He's a nice guy. He's a champion that you want. I want, in my opinion. That's the type of dude I want as a champion. And then Chimaev, obviously, fan favorite, amazing. He trains at the gym that I'm training at, which is exciting to see him there all the time. I think,
mm,
I think, I think if Chimaev does what he tries to do, I think Robert will beat him. If he tries to explode in the first round, I don't think it'll work with Robert Whittaker and try to take him out in the first
movement
round.
wise,
No,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think Whittaker will hold it up.
General,
And then this is a
okay,
five round. This is
yeah.
a 5 round fight now. So
Five
Chimaev
round
might
fight as well, yeah,
if he
yeah.
explodes in the first round, trying to do it to Whittaker, I don't think that'll work. And I think Whittaker will hold up the first round, and that might even be the game plan. They might even be thinking about that now. Like first round, you hold it up, and then he's gonna
Weather the
gas out.
storm,
Yeah, weather the
yeah,
storm, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
and then
yeah.
and then he'll come out grappling heavy. He'll try and get the choke. All that sort of stuff. Just defend, scramble, compose your energy, let him.
Mm,
And then if I think honestly, if Chimaev has that as a game plan, that's going to be a big mistake, especially in a 5 round fight with Whittaker, who's been disciplined enough to do like what he's done a few of those, a lot of those. Put it that way. He knows what a 5 round
mm.
fight's like. Whittaker's way more disciplined in regards to composing
And he's
his energy and his
fought
pace. I mean, this could
some
be,
animals.
yeah, and this is Whitaker. So it depends, man. I think if Chimaev comes out with a heavy, like a pace yourself sort of game plan, then I think Chimaev can win. If he comes with a
Mm,
pace, if he comes with a first round explosion, then I think he's gonna lose. And also, like, even if he ups the pace but just keeps it wrestling heavy, like Khabib, because
mm,
Khabib never exploded, but when he got hold of you, that was it. Like he still didn't explode, but he was able to control you. Now, if Hamza does the same thing, that yes, he's got an advantage. Pace yourself with the wrestling, but
mm,
that's my opinion. I feel like he could lose this if he takes that strategy.
yeah, no, if he manages to boa constrictor the Reaper, yeah, that's going to be difficult. But we all know that Robert doesn't. It's near enough impossible. I mean, I haven't seen him get like controlled on the ground and manhandled by anybody so far. Not for very long, anyway. So, I think it's a great matchup for Whitaker. I think he's got all the tools to defeat him. Question for you though: what happened to Hamzat Shemayez that was like fighting every week, every other week? What happened to that guy? Do you remember that? Like that was a part of his storyline, his appeal that he was like, I'll fight anybody, anywhere. Well, tomorrow, all right, cool. And then I know he had some medical issues and so on that happened. But then, when he's been clean of health, that energy that he had to just
But I think
whatever fight
as
any just
yeah,
went away, man.
I
It went
think as
away.
far as I know, or far as he says that they don't give him fights, and I think they're trying to save him as well. And the fights that he wanted probably are the high level, give me straight title fight and whatnot. The fight that they offered him recently was in Ramadan, and all the Muslim guys are like, no, I'm not fighting in Ramadan. So I don't know. I don't think that. I think the energy is still there. I think it's just that the UFC have kind of controlled the pace now a little bit. All right, we've given you a few at welterweight division. Now you're in the middleweight division. You're in the high level fights. Let's pace it more. You know what I mean? That's what I think, and that's
Mm,
what I've heard him say. Kind of, they don't give him fights. So
okay. Because that was like part of his appeal coming in. Crazy Chechnyan guy, with a hair lip and just don't give a fuck. And he's serious about everything. And he's also very funny and and then he just kind of, we lost that part of him that was just ready to fight anybody. But yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, like you said, if Hamzat comes in with that game plan, full on, put pedal to the metal, it's gonna be the undoing of him. But it's an amazing. I literally had the biggest smile when I saw that announced. I'm so happy for that fight.
definitely, I
So
mean,
happy for that.
it's just exciting, man.
It's a
Regardless of the
real
fact,
test.
he's an exciting fighter. It does, you know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to.
Real test
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the card is also
at
going. You got
middleweight.
Pavlich versus Volkov in the heavyweight division, which is fun. You got Gaslim versus
Oh,
Rodriguez. You
wait.
got Johnny
Yeah.
Walker versus
Oh,
Ozdemir, sorry. And then you got another
oh,
exciting prospect that the Bullet, Mohamed, what's his name, man? I can't
one
remember
eye.
his. Yeah, the Pirate versus Poteria. So I'm excited to see
Cyclops.
him. I'm excited to see him. Yeah, my
That's his,
guy
yeah.
with his pirate steeds, man. He's excited. Let's see, because his striking is really good. So let's see if he can
Yeah.
I know there was talks about he kept getting taken down, but he's like, take me down, I'm gonna throw elbows and whatnot.
It's a
So
fight, man.
yeah,
Like,
so
so what?
that's an exciting card for the first
That's a
Saudi card.
crazy, great. Oh, yes, it is the first Saudi. That's why it's a big deal. Okay. You reckon you can make it?
Nah, I'm gonna be in the UK then. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
All right, well
That yeah,
let's
that's a crazy card.
All
Yeah,
right,
go
well,
on.
since next week I'm gonna be out, and the week after is UFC 300.
Mm,
Let's break down and talk give our thoughts about UFC 300, man, and give our little predictions.
why not?
Now,
All right, go on then.
super excited. Obviously, the best, probably one of the best cards, but I think UFC put on great cards anyway. But look, let's start off the top, man. Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill for the light heavyweight title bout. I'm going with
Oh,
Alex Pereira. I really am.
yeah.
I do. I think Jamal Hill is young. He's dangerous. I think Alex Pereira will. Just because of his striking ability, because it's going to be a striking fight, I believe, unless Jamal tries to go out with a grappling game plan. But I think it's going to be
Which is smart.
striking. Exactly. And I
Right.
think Pereira with those calf kicks and just his composure, his short left hooks, I think it's going to go
Mm,
Pereira's way, in my opinion.
mm, strong argument. It's hard to say because Jamal Hill is very unorthodox. He's quite athletic, and I think like I watched the tape of his fights before, and I haven't given him as much credit as I thought he does as he deserves because he's kind of a little bit annoying on the mic. You know, he's always like petty about this happened and talking to people on Twitter and whatnot. And I'm like, oh man, so I'd kind of forgotten that he's actually quite a good fighter and quite skillful. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to call. Anything could happen. I think yeah, anything can happen. Can't call it, man.
All
Yeah.
right, let's go on to the next one. Zhang Weili versus Xiaonan. So two top
Ooh,
strawweight type Chinese fighters. I mean, this is gonna be big for the
that's
Chinese
massive.
audience. Zhang Weili's a superstar. She's
Absolutely.
amazing.
Already,
I'm
yeah.
gonna go with her. Like I think she's just powerful, and I've just seen her training footage. She's always on it, doing all this dynamic training. I
Yeah,
think
her,
she's.
oh,
I think
yeah,
I'm gonna go with her. I think her power, her speed, her pace will overwhelm Yang
be
Xiaonan. That's
enough.
it, my opinion.
I haven't seen enough of the other lady to know. So I'm not sure. So I probably will side with you on that one because I just don't know. But you know, once you get to a certain level of fights, it's so hard to call them, like because we've seen so many upsets over the years, and it's just on the day anything can happen. But yeah, I'll go with Zhang as well for the meantime.
All right, cool. I okay, no, this is the funnest fight. I'm gutted. I shouldn't have sworn, sorry.
Royce?
I'm gutted that I'm missing this one, man. Justin Gage, or live, should I say? Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway. Such a fun
Oh,
fight. And look, I love Max to bits. I love him to bits, and he's a warrior. He's gonna go down as a future Hall of Fame, and just he's definitely a BMF. I'm gonna go with Justin Gaethje just because of the weight class and just Gaethje's pressure, Gaethje's power, and Gaethje's willingness to move forward and take a hit. So I feel like Justin Gaethje is gonna take this
mm,
one.
I see why you would say that because when Max fought against Dustin for the second time, because they fought before, right? Way back when.
Did they fight
Am I right?
way back when? I don't know.
Is it not? Okay, okay, maybe they didn't. But anyway, when he fought him, we saw right away the difference in the weight, right?
They
When
did
Dustin
fight
hit him,
once.
he
They
hit it
fought once. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah,
way
yeah,
back,
yeah.
like way back with
I don't know about way back. When you say way back, it sounds like they were in
oh
the flight featherweight or whatever the lower
yeah,
division. They fought in the mid in
like
the lightweight division. That's what I
years
remember.
ago,
I mean, yeah, it was years ago, but I can't remember when the last time. But
like
that was the last
like
time
six,
Holloway.
7 years ago.
Nah, I don't want to say
Not
it
that
was
one.
that
No,
long.
no. Okay, okay. No, no, no. I'm thinking of I'm getting confused here. But anyway, the
Okay,
last fight that they had, or the first fight that they had, you could see the difference in power that like as you were speaking of. And I feel like that would be a factor because when, Max, as many punches as he throws, he doesn't have that, he doesn't pack dynamite, but his movement, his understanding of the game, his awareness. He was popping shots at Kelvin Cater and looking at somewhere. Was he saying again? He was saying
I'm the greatest
what?
boxer in the
I forgot
UFC
what
or something. I'm the best boxer in the
that and
UFC.
something else he said, and he said it in the post conference, and then he said it in the cage as well. I forgot what it was. He said something. But anyway, that kind of guy. He's remarkable. I just don't know if he's going to translate well enough for that division, like you're saying about in regards to weight and everything. But
Yeah, because he
the,
wins by
the
overwhelming people, right? It's not by he's like
that's
the
it.
Diaz brothers, right? He wins by just overwhelming
That's it.
shots. He doesn't
Strikes.
go
Yeah.
it's not 100%. It's just pace, 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 pace. But in the heavier
Yeah.
division, and especially Justin Gaethje is a heavy puncher.
He's a heavy
And
puncher.
Max, I don't think he's ever been dropped. I don't think so. And that's the thing that he's got. Like he's got this chin on him. But Justin Gaethje, he packs a different kind of punch because Dustin Poirier is also, I mean, he's a heavy puncher for sure, but he's more of a pace guy as
He's,
well. Overwhelms people with pace as well.
yeah.
But Justin Gaethje is known for knocking people out and going for. So this is good.
Yeah.
Listen, I love Holloway. It's an exciting fight. I just feel Gaethje's going to take that one. I don't
Yeah.
want
Possible.
to say by
Possible.
knockout or TKO, but I
it's
got a feeling
possible, isn't it?
TKO. Yeah, there's a possibility. There's a
It's
possibility.
yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Max needs to control the range really well.
And
Really
not
keep
do
him at
you
arm's
know when
length.
that nah,
And
don't do that with
nope,
Justin. No,
nope,
no.
nope,
Different game plan,
nope.
please. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to keep the distance, cut angles, and do that. But Justin's got great leg kicks out there as well.
Yes, yeah.
And
Can't
Max
forget
isn't
about
he's not the
those.
biggest of yeah, Max isn't the biggest of checker of leg kicks. He gets them, but he's not he's so I don't know, obviously this they have all the tools to beat each other. It's just on the day we don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, I think Gaethje by TKO is a possibility. Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the lightweight
possibility.
bout. Another fun one. Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tosakura.
Man, Sarukian.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. But man, this guy had a great fight against Islam, right? That was they had a good
I haven't
wrestling bout,
seen.
scramble and whatnot, which I believe he wants
Right,
to
I
get
haven't
back
seen.
out there. I believe it's him.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's him. It's him. It's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is gonna
Mm-hmm.
be another fun fight, man. I'm gutted I'm gonna miss this card, man. What gutted I'm missing it live. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
enjoy my vacation because of the bloody UFC. Bro,
You old man.
I know. Bro, I don't even know what to say about this fight, to be honest. This is gonna be an interesting one. I wanna say Charles is just that good. Like, except Islam Makhachev, like outside that, he just slaughters everyone. And now he does get hit and he goes down, like he does, but then he has this ability to just come back up and finish. You know what I mean? He's got beautiful
Mm,
striking. I don't know, unless Arman challenges his wrestling like Islam did, and we'll see because he's a great
mm.
wrestler too. So
Yes, he is.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know. I
hard.
don't know. I think I might go for. It's a tough one. It's a tough one to call.
I want Charles to win because I want to see him fight Islam again. But
Mm.
I don't know enough about Armin to say anything. And we know that Charles is like a Swiss Army knife. We've seen that. I don't know enough about Armin to say anything. I'm not sure. But I want Charles to win. Yeah,
Well, that's gonna be a fun one, man. Well,
massively.
to start off the main card, Bo Nickel
Go
versus
on.
Cody Roger. But Bo Nickel obviously is super
Oh,
exciting
let's
prospect, so
see
we're
what's up.
expecting a lot from him,
Let's
right?
see what's.
Be it from wrestling or striking.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go with Bo Nickel just because I'm following the hype. I'm on the hype train. So
Are you?
yeah, I am. I am. I'm on the hype train. I know.
Ah,
I feel like there's something about this guy who's gonna be fun in that division. But we'll see. You never know. I hope that
man's on the
I'm glad they're
hype
building him
train.
up.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're building him up
Yeah.
slowly and not just throwing him in there. And I know he believes he goes straight in there, but build him up, then takes time. I'm on the hype train.
Man's on the hype train. What what carriage are you sitting in? Are you on the first carriage, second carriage? Like how much are you hyped
I
about
mean,
him?
I'm on the train. I'm not in the first or like not first class or
You
whatnot.
know.
I'm in economy and whatnot. But
Yeah.
I'm
Okay, fair enough.
yeah. I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see him.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I believe you. I think I'll join economy with you as well because I'm intrigued by him and what he can bring to the table, and also the fact that people were knocking him and saying that he shouldn't be where he needs to be and where he's at the moment and all this kind of thing. And I want to see him prove that and shut them up. So, because let's face it, man, one of the biggest slaps in UFC history to all the champions and all the other fighters who deserve their position was when they brought in CM Punk, and that man got paid more than Demetrius Johnson as a champion. So Bo Nickel is fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, let's move into the prelims because bloody hell, this prelims is amazing. All these prelims could be a main card
Yes.
fight night
This
or main card even.
yes.
So Yuri
Yes.
how do you say his name, bro?
Yuri Prohaska against
Prohaska versus Alexandra Rakic.
Rakic. Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's I'm excited for that fight because that's 3-4, 2-3.
2 and 5.
Right. Okay. So after that, people are going to
I
talk about titles.
mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, Yuri is just so dynamic and just
He's so
expressive.
strange.
He's just expressive in
Yeah,
that cage. So I'm looking forward to
yeah,
this one. And look, fun fight. I'm
good.
gonna go with Yuri just because of his dynamicness. And yes, he had that horrific injury. Yes, he came back and fought Alex Pereira, but I think he's still up there. So I'm gonna go
Oh,
with Yuri because of
yeah.
his yeah, dynamic striking. But the next, I mean, sorry, who do you think? Who do you think?
I was gonna say that. I mean, Rakic was meant to be. He was up and comer at one point, and then he got injured in that fight with Yan or maybe Ankalaev. I can't remember who, but and then it kind of took a back seat for a little bit. And I can't remember enough about him, but to watch the tape to say, oh, he has this and he has that. But Yuri, obviously, I've seen more enough to know. I mean, he was a champion, right? To know what he's about. So I'll go with him until I check the tape on Rakic.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Next one. Next one. I can't. I've got this card is crazy, bro. Aljamain Sterling versus Calvin Cater. Bloody hell. Um,
Oh yes,
this is
yes.
crazy. Aljo, like he's just champion and
He,
he's on the prelims, and it's not a bad thing because it's the UFC 300. It's a massive card, but this is how crazy this card is. It's so fun. Um,
you know,
I'm gonna go
he
with
looks beefy as well.
yeah. I'm gonna go with Aljo with the grappling because. Calvin Cato, who we just talked about, what's his name? Holloway pieced him up on the stand-up, right? I don't think Aljamain could take him on the stand-up. I think it'll be a grappling thing. And I think if Aljo could take his back and ride him out like he's done
Yeah,
with in the past, I think that's Aljo.
I think that's Aljo too. Yeah, I think. But I mean, again, like we've seen that in order for him to get to that takedown, his entries are a bit sloppy, just as Sean O'Malley. So depends because Cater is a great boxer, and his management of space is also exceptional. So again, if Aljo can get the timing right and get a good entry, fine. But if not, and Cater is able to counter and use his movement, clock him with a counter, and it'll be lights out. So we'll see. But we know that Aljo will hang on to him and try to drown him.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So we shall see. Listen, man, the next
swim.
fight, another exciting
He's,
one. Holly Holm versus Kyla Harrison. And Kyla Harrison's
oh,
got tons of hype,
oh,
obviously, behind her. Holly Holm's ex-champion, amazing striker. You know, this could be an interesting one. Holly Holm was the one that dethroned the judo GOAT champion Ronda
come
Rousey back in
on,
the days. Can she do that to Kyla? Kyla Harrison looks
head
beefy
movement,
beefy. Like
head
she's
movement.
like massive and she's obviously skillful and she's Olympic, right? She's Olympic judo level, right?
Judoka, yeah, she is. Um, Carry on. I'll chime in
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah. No, I mean no,
Mm.
that's just my thought. I think Kyla's gonna win by one, her size, her strength, and the grappling. That's how I see her taking out Holly Holm, possibly choking her out or something, but just taking her to the ground and finishing her there.
Okay,
But we'll see. We'll see if the
so
hype lives up to it in the UFC level. Because she's obviously been smashing it in the PFL. On this UFC
mm,
level, let's see how she does. But she's definitely got that size advantage.
she absolutely does, and that could be a downfall for her. She might end up losing or struggling in the battle for the weight cut. The reason I say that is because I was watching this like an expert on weight management for sports athletes, some bald looking bastard, and he looks like Hitman. Anyway, he was explaining, yeah, that like he mentioned like Dillashaw, how he had to deplete his body so low to get to bantam, no, flyweight, right, and then take on Cejudo. Um, he really went into a lot of detail about management of energy and all the nuances and enzymes that it takes or that will be removed during that process. And he said it's very dangerous for her to take this fight on and cut so much weight. And he feels like we we might not get her at her best because she has
Did
never
she
really done weight cuts
really? What did she fight
either.
at PFL? What was it? Was it at the bantamweight?
I'm not sure, but they don't have that kind of heavy weight cut situation that they do in the UFC. That's why they're saying like it's like dangerous for her.
Bantamweight is 145, right? I'm correct. Is that correct? Insane? Or is it
Is
135?
it 135? 135.
Is it
Yeah,
135?
135 is bantamweight. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what she was fighting at before. I'm not sure, but
Okay, interesting.
she has to cut a lot of weight. She has to cut like you check it out. You probably check it on the embedded. You'll see her. They're probably gonna go into her cutting hella weight and whatnot. But the guy was saying that it's dangerous and she might pretty much be erased when she gets into the cage. So we'll see.
We'll see, I guess. I'm sure she's trying to do it, professionally as possible. I'm sure she might use the UFC PI, but we'll see. I mean, exciting prospect coming into the
Mm,
UFC.
it
We'll see what
is.
happens.
Gets
All
the
right.
gets the cut right. Then
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see.
Moving on to start the prelims, Sadiq Yusuf versus Diego Lopez.
Sadiq Yusuf.
Sadiq, yeah,
That's
he's
the,
a Nigerian brother. I'm trying to remember.
with the red hair sometimes.
No, I don't think it's him.
No, no. Okay.
I can't really comment.
His
I'm
name
trying
is
to think, but I can't really comment.
Sadiq
Anyway,
Yusuf. Don't know enough about him, but yeah.
this
Go on.
early. All right, let's move on to the early prelim because this is bloody.
Go
This
on.
is another quick card. The early prelims
Oh
itself.
my gosh.
So
You
Jalil
sure you
Turner versus.
calculated your trip a little bit?
Oh God, Jalil Turner versus Renato Moicano. Anyway,
Oh,
and Jalil's turn,
Anato
he's
Mocano.
trained. Yeah, I read something that Renato was going to quit and join the police force because he's been very vocal. It's him, right? Has been very vocal about. Isn't it him that's been very vocal? He's got his own podcast about the US and the state of the police and stuff like he's going to join the police and whatnot, if I remember correctly.
I didn't know. I know he has his own podcast, but I don't know if he delves into politics like that. I'm not
I
sure.
think he does, if I remember correctly. But Jalil's
Okay.
another exciting, like tall,
Mm,
good rangy fighter. He's trained in the
rangy. Yeah.
yeah. I've seen it. No, I haven't seen him, but I know he's trained at the gym that I've trained at in Dubai when he comes down here and whatnot. He's sparred with
Oh,
Hamza
nice.
Chimaev. But yeah, he's another fun
Okay.
prospect and whatnot. So
Yeah.
that's
Didn't he
good.
fight? He fought
I think he beat Bobby.
Dan Hooker.
Oh, Dan Hooker. Yeah. Is it Dan Hooker?
I think he. I think he beat Bobby, right? And
Think
he
so.
fought Dan Hooker, and Dan Hooker almost lost to him. I think that's the same guy, no?
I
Dan
think
that
so.
like Dan Hooker beat him, but it was by a hair.
Think so. I can't remember. I'm trying to go back into the memory bank, but I definitely can't remember, man. But anyway, it's definitely
But yeah, good fighter, good
fun.
fighter.
Yeah, yeah. Women's strawweight
Mm.
bout Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez. Jessica Andrade,
Oh,
from 4-6.
I mean, Jessica, has she? What's been her evolution? She's always been heavy, right, and powerful. But I can't, I can't think of like the evolution of her. Can you? Like
I
she hasn't
mean,
changed a lot.
heavy and
Would you say?
powerful. She likes to slam people. She beat Rose by slamming her and whatnot. Um,
Yeah, power. But other than that, like I haven't seen any evolution of her. Like all of a sudden she's doing more Muay Thai or she's doing more kicks. It's kind of been the same thing for her, isn't it? Like getting close, mm,
She just
and if I grab you, I'm
follow,
gonna slam you.
yeah, yeah. She can
That's
slam
it.
you or
Yeah,
just get in
same,
the pocket and or, hard shots and
same.
whatnot. And that has
Mm.
worked against him in Zhang Wei Li was able to kind of like um what do you call it?
Position and
Yeah,
frame and whatnot. Yeah, I mean it's a typical way you would deal with somebody who's powerful, isn't it? You'd frame, you'd use your footwork and
use your
whatnot.
range or whatnot.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I
Anyway, yeah.
mean, I'm excited still. Bro, Bobby Green versus
Always.
Jim Miller. Bro, Jim Miller, UFC
Yeah.
100, 200, and now 300. If he wins,
Yeah.
if Jim Miller wins, and I love Bobby Green, but I think Bobby Green's still got a long way to go. But Jim Miller, I feel like if he wins, this will be the best way to go out. I think, in my opinion, like just retire,
Hands down.
like
Hands down.
legend. And if he wins, I
Yeah.
think he gets a record of the most wins or something in the UFC, beating Donald
Oh
Cerrone.
wow.
And I imagine the
Oh.
stat. I think so. Some kind of record he's gonna break. And Bobby Green's listen. Bobby Green's still young. He's up and coming. He's got he's a great striker, amazing striker.
Bobby Green?
Yeah,
Bobby Green ain't young?
is he not young? I mean,
Nah, Bobby
he's been in
Green.
the game for ages, but I feel like he's still got a long way to go.
Yeah, he does, but he's. I'm sure he's like in his mid 30s, 30 plus. No, I'm
Maybe. I feel like he's still
checking.
got.
I'm sure he's. Go on. What's he got then? Because I'm
Oh,
sure
he is
he's.
37, yeah. Okay, so he's coming to his
Yeah,
end of
he's
prime.
kind of yeah, he's
Why
kind of
was I
over the
thinking he
hill.
was younger? Okay.
Fight pop.
Well, I think we discussed
Yeah,
it before. I don't think he would ever get to that championship level, but he's still a fun fighter to watch. And I think
he's
he's still
still a fun
got,
fighter.
I feel
Yeah,
like he's still got ways to go if you put him in fun fights.
he still has wins under his belt. Definitely, he's not washed
Definitely.
up yet. Just the
Jamila's
right fight.
legend as well. I feel like honestly, if Jamila wins, that'd be an amazing story for him to retire
That
on
would
that
be
card.
historical, like next level shit, man. Like who, like that's a milestone of life in the UFC, basically. Like that's yeah, retire on top,
Legend.
man. Do that.
Yeah. Let
Make
retire
it
on top
happen.
and just
Jim,
with UFC 100,
make
200,
it
and
happen.
300. I mean, that's big. That's big.
Make it happen.
Um,
Jim or James, probably that's your legal name. James Miller, get it done.
and then to start off this card, bro, bloody hell, David Figueiredo versus Kobe Garbrandt. Freaking hell. This is a great
Oh,
fight as well, man. Another great fight
oh.
to start off the card. How great is this on
But
the early prelims as
that's
well?
yo, they literally just got a whole lot of gasoline and oil and shit, and they're like, "Yo, we're gonna have a party. Who's got a match?"
So good, man. I
Damn,
mean, Davison
that's a
obviously going
fight.
up, right? And Cody Garbrandt, obviously we've
Fight.
seen Cody Garbrandt go through ups. He in his last fight he done well. I can't remember who he fought, but he done well. His last fight knocked out his opponent, if I remember correctly, but I can't remember
Mm,
last fight. But obviously, yeah, it's
yeah,
another fun fight, man. It's another fun fight.
yeah. Cody, man, like okay. Do you think he will have another run for the belt?
Not to be not in a negative
Why?
way. I don't think so.
Why?
I mean, look,
Why?
his chin's been clipped a lot. His chin's been clipped a lot, and you know, yeah. I mean, like from
Uh,
it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing, man. Like when someone's chin is not there, no, well, that's tough. That's how you can't train that. You
mm,
can't train that. And he's gone through
yeah.
so much. He's gone through battles and whatnot. He was champ. Congrats to him.
Punch me
But
now.
yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
So I don't think so.
Mm, yeah. Man, that
And
like that was such
Davison,
a crazy story, wasn't it? The way
I
that he just kind of
mean,
came up, beat Dominic Cruz, and made him look like an old fart.
yeah,
And
he
then
did.
right,
And then
and then he
TJ.
got look yeah, and then he TJ made him look old. And then after that, after he got beat by TJ, that was it, wasn't it? It's like it psychologically just ruined him
Yeah, I
somewhat.
mean, look, I remember that TJ fight, the first one, he clipped him. He clipped him, I remember. And I remember he started
At the
doing his
start of
break
the
dancing.
round,
He started doing his dancing and whatnot. And then TJ
yeah,
took him out after. So, yeah, so I mean, look,
TJ to TJ,
it is what it is. I mean, look,
yeah.
it's at the end of the day, he goes down as the next champion. He's definitely great. It's just, it is what it is. And this is
Mm,
this is for Davison, I think, like for him to see if he can become like get in there with the bantamweight contenders. So
mm,
another exciting, bro,
yeah.
exciting fight.
I can I can see Cody getting knocked out.
I can see that
I
too.
can
I
see
see that
that.
too. So we'll,
That
we'll
chin you're talking about, it's like it's like fully open now. Like I can see him get knocked out.
yeah.
Cold as
So
well.
we'll see. We'll see. I mean, look, Davison didn't knock out. I mean, he was a bit of a knockout artist in his division, in the flyweight division, but he couldn't knock out Moreno or whatnot.
Moreno's he's got that.
Yeah, plus Figueroa Davison that used to cut a lot of weight, so this is better for him. He might be more vitalized and everything.
Ah,
So, but yeah, fun fight, man, fun fight. Well, look, I mean, look, I'm glad we got a chance to break this card down.
I can't believe that card is crazy. Like,
No, I
wow,
know, I know.
my heart's pumping. Thank you
I
for
can
that.
find a way to watch it in respect. I mean, maybe you never know. Like maybe they were like, yeah, it's on at
you,
the well, they don't have pubs there because it's a Muslim country, but at the restaurant, go down. I'll try and
wait,
find a way.
is there a fight? Yeah, try to find a way. Is there an Uzbekistan fighter on that card at all? No,
No, no.
no. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
hosting
if there
Canada.
was, the guy who just fought this week, wait, what's that?
Got to find a charger. Carry on.
All right, no, I mean let's call it there, bro, man, because I got a meeting coming up as well. But look, I'm glad we
Ah,
got a chance to catch up on those fights, and
yeah, man.
we'll be back not next week. I'll miss next week's fight, which is I didn't we didn't really talk about it, but just real quick.
How you doing? Yeah.
Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis is like next week. I'm gonna miss this one, so we'll catch up on the week after.
Ah,
For UFC 3.
okay.
It'll
All
be a
right.
late one for UFC 300 later during the week. I'll watch the fights and we can talk about it then. But yeah, cool. Let's
Sounds like
leave
a
it there,
plan, man.
man.
All right. Well, yo, what a great week to look forward to. A great weekend ahead of us, huh?
Definitely, definitely. All right, guys. Well, look, thanks
Magic.
everyone as usual for watching. Really appreciate it and subscribing and liking. As you might know, I should have said this in the beginning, we have been shadow banned for other reasons. We won't talk about that right now. But for the people who have been watching, we appreciate that, considering everything that's going on. But on that note, we will leave you to it and we out. Peace.